have great taste, especially with your radio choice. Thank you for spending a little time with Gary and Bristol on Kiss Country 93.7.
Shop Macy's VIP sale, going on now. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest fall trends from designers that rarely go on sale. And save 15% off skincare, makeup, fragrances, and more. Plus, shop fall specials for even more great deals on top brands at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
That's Billy Currington. Good Directions. Shreveport Bossier's number one for New Country. Kiss Country 93.7. Happy Friday. It's Gary in Bristol. No, she's not here. But she will be back Monday. Oh, and you can put all the toilet paper back on the shelf at Sam's now. Did you hear the union representing 45,000 striking U.S. dock workers reached a deal yesterday to suspend the strike until January 15th. It supposedly will give them enough time to negotiate a new contract. The union, the International Longshoremen's Association, is to resume work immediately. They say the port sweetened their wage offer because I want to say they wanted like 77% increase in like 6 years. Well, the port sweetened their offer from about 50% over 6 years to 62%. They say the agreement is tentative. Any wage increase would have to be approved by union members as part of the ratification of a final contract. They're already saying, hey, you know, we're not agreeing to the 70-something%, but we would give you 62. That's like a 10% increase each year. I would jump on that in a heartbeat.
Hello.
Kristen, are you awake?
I am.
You are? You are now. Now that the phone was ringing and woke you up rudely, right?
That's fine.
This is Gary in Bristol from Kiss Country 93.7. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, now listen, I'm going to cut right to the chase. Ashley Fullerton told on you. You're in so much trouble with the principal.
Oh, my.
Yeah. You want to hear what she had to say about you?
What's up?
She said, Kristen is a home health nurse and my best friend. She always goes out of her way for her patient or family and friends. She can often be found at the store, grabbing a few groceries for one patient or doing dishes for another, or taking in yet another animal to her home because her patient can't go care for it anymore. She loves patient care so much that one time I asked her why she didn't go back to school to get her RN and bachelor's degree so that she could make more money and have better hours. And she said, it's because I love my patients and I'd have to leave them and it's just not worth it to me. Wow, Kristen. I got to tell you, kiddo, because of your big old heart, we have named you this week's recipient of the Kiss Country Caught in the Act Award because we caught you doing good.
Oh, that's sweet.
Isn't it, though? Now, we also got to thank Ashley because we'd have never known how much you were doing if Ashley hadn't wrote us about you.
Yes, sir.
So you know what? You're getting a $50 gift certificate to Magnolia Pit Barbecue, so maybe you might want to take Ashley and the two of y'all go to dinner together.
Sounds like a deal.
Well, now, do you have just one patient at a time, or is there always a pretty good list?
I usually see about 40 people between Blanchard and Vivian a week.
Wow. So you're like stepping and fetching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, kiddo. I want you to know how much we love and appreciate you.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate Kiss Country.
Isn't she sweet? So if you know somebody like Kristen Holly, you need to nominate them for the Caught in the Act Award. They get a $50 gift certificate to Magnolia Pit Barbecue and, of course, all our love and admiration. Just jump on the Kiss Country website, mykisscountry937.com, and look that story up. Or you can go into Caught in the Act in your Kiss Country app.
Stick around. Just 15 more minutes. You won't believe what these two are going to do next. It's Gary and Bristol on Kiss Country 93.7.
Happy Friday. It's Kiss Country 93.7. We're Gary and Bristol. And Bossier City police officer Chris Porter and his wife Avis Got some devastating news. This is the news that no parent wants to get. Their 12-year-old son, Gunnar, has been diagnosed with cancer. And it apparently began as a tumor on Gunnar's spine. Doctors were able to remove about 85% of it. But as the doctors continue the fight on those remaining cancer cells, Gunnar's been unable to walk and has been transported to New Orleans Children's Hospital for some intensive rehab in the hopes of being transferred to Texas Children's in Houston for more treatment. Well, the cancer fight has been a burden on Officer Porter's family. He's trying to work. He and his wife have 3 other kids. And with helping the Porter family is the goal. The Bossier Fraternal Order of Police is holding a cookout fundraiser today. It'll start at 11 a.m. there at the Bossier City Police Headquarters, 620 Benton Road in Bossier, right across the street from Tubbs Hardware. They'll have barbecue pulled pork sandwiches, all the fixings that go with that. And donations for the meal will all be donated to Gunnar's family to aid in the battle. They say that the cookout will continue till they run out of food. So if you don't already have lunch plans for today, I'm thinking a pulled pork sandwich might be a great idea.
Nothing puts the good in your morning like Gary and Bristol on Kiss Country 93.
Jelly Roll, I am not okay. Kiss Country 93.7. Hopefully he'll be okay by the time he gets here, October 20th. Brookshire Grocery Arena, and yes, we will be giving away tickets. Just got to wait just a little bit longer. Ticket trivia time. We got 4-pack of tickets this morning for the Angola Prison Rodeo this Sunday. Yesterday's question, if you missed the answer, huge national survey shows that this is people's number one complaint about their job. No, not the boss, not the co-workers, not the IT department. Their salary. Don't make enough money. Okay, here's today's question. Over a third of all people say they add this to their coffee in the morning. What? I'd have never dreamed in a million years the number was that high. Over a third of all people say they add this to their coffee in the morning. What are they adding? 725-5477, 725 Kiss Country 93.7. U-Time is Scotty McCreery. Gary in Bristol lists the pretty half. She's taking a couple of days off. She'll be back with us Monday. Of course, a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Casey, just a minute ago, he's just won 4 tickets for the Angola Prison Rodeo. That's going on down at Angola. Of course, you know, it's opening day of squirrel season in the morning. Bow hunters are all up in the tree. Archery season here in Area 2. Got the Webster Parish Fair, the big fundraiser today at 11 a.m. there at the Bossier City Police Headquarters. Raising money with some pulled pork barbecue sandwiches. Raising money for Officer Chris Porter, whose son Gunnar was diagnosed with cancer. If you hadn't already made lunch plans, go by there and get a pulled pork sandwich and help Officer Porter's family. Another one of the big events this weekend, you can't miss out on the Webster Parish Fair at the Webster Parish Fairgrounds. They've got today the buyer's luncheon at 11:30, the livestock auction at 1, and all the rides start at 6 p.m. And, of course, the granddaddy of them all, the Red River Revel, going to be opening up again this morning at 11 o'clock, downtown Shreveport at Festival Plaza. That's free before 5 o'clock on weekdays, only $5 after 5, and all this weekend. And tomorrow night, don't forget now, 8:30 tomorrow night, if you're a Frank Foster fan, he is going to be in town. All the info at redriverrevel.com.
Almost as important as your morning coffee. It's Gary and Bristol, only on Kiss Country 93.7.
Happy Friday. It's Kiss Country 93.7. We're Gary and Bristol. Actually, it's just Gary. Bristol won't be back with us till Monday. Shameless hussy. Taking days off. She earned them. She puts up with me every day. New poll just came out. Pretty good-sized poll. They asked 2,000 Americans to name their top simple joys in life. Number 1, waking up after a good night's sleep. Guess that beats not waking up after the good night's sleep. Number 2, catching up with an old friend or a loved one. And I remember back in the early days of Facebook, when that was the main thing. All of a sudden, you see somebody on there that you hadn't talked to in 25 years, and you're like, wow, how are you, man? Simple joys in life. A cup of coffee. Watching your favorite show. Just the smell of freshly brewed coffee. Hearing your favorite song on the radio. You are welcome. The smell of freshly baked cookies. Simple joys in life. Having someone tell you they were thinking about you. Waking up to the sun shining. I don't remember what that's like. I've gotten up before the sun, I guess, for the last 30 years. And the 10th one, simple joys in life. The sound of rain on the rooftop while you're inside safe and warm. Simple joys. You know, they missed one. And I'm telling you, if you've ever gone camping, you know. You're out, you're in the tent or, in the camper or whatever. And all of a sudden, somebody fires up that Coleman stove and they're cooking bacon in the Dude, you know it's going to be a great day.
My number one station.
Number one, Gary and Bristol. Another reason we're number one. Kiss Country 93.
Love ya, miss ya, mean it. Kiss Country 93.7. That's Luke Bryan. We're Gary and Bristol, getting real close to another chance for you to win $30,000. First Kiss Cash Cow code of the day here in a few. Big new poll just came out of the top people we refuse to tip, even if the credit card machine asks us to. Number one on the list, your mechanic. I hope my son, the mechanic for KCS, is listening right now. Your mechanic. Most Americans wouldn't tip a mechanic because they're seen as professionals who already make a good wage and they charge a lot. 82% of the people in this poll said, no, I ain't tipping the mechanic. Somebody else they wouldn't tip. Concession stand workers at sporting events. There's fast food workers. Can you imagine the girl there at McDonald's with her hand out? What? You want me to give you 5? You need some knuckles? What? And they say also we refuse to tip any restaurant worker when you're picking up the food yourself. Now, on the flip side, people say they will always tip their food delivery driver, like, the pizza guy, Uber drivers, and bartenders. And dependent on how long a night it was, it really depends on how much the bartender gets.
We need more cowbell. It's time for another Kiss Cash Cow code.
Okay, open up your Kiss Country app. Put this in there. 669. 669. That's the first Kiss Cash Cow code of the day. Another one coming up about 9:20. Your chance to win up to $30,000. It's courtesy of Greg Tilley's Manufactured Housing. Kiss Country 93.7.
It's Gary and Bristol all morning long.
I know you're scared of that cock-a-doodle-doo.
Kiss Country 93.7.
Kiss Country 93.7. It's Gary and Bristol. Morgan Wallen there. Lies, lies, lies. And you know what? Hats off again to Morgan Wallen. Boy, he just stepped up to the plate big time. Did you see this? It's in the Kiss Country app. Because of Hurricane Helene and all that was lost there on the East Coast, lives being, the number one thing, but there was so much property damage, people still without electricity and just, it's just total devastation. Morgan Wallen made a donation to the Red Cross of $500,000, $500,000. He said there was so much that was just totally demolished there in East Tennessee. And he says, that's where I came from. Those hills and hollers are what made me. And so he ponied up big time, $500,000. So Morgan Wallen, thank you.
Making that ride to work fun.
Come on now, Junior, take a wild ride.
It's Gary and Bristol on Kiss Country 93.7.